Hey, what's up, guys? It's Travis Brett with SOSPrep.com. Been out for a week, so I apologize for that. I like to do these weekly, but last week I was out of town for a little bit and away from the computer. But SOSPrep.com, what do? We provide you with all the resources you need to make sure that you're prepared to pass the statewide officer certification exam, whether you're on a basic recruit training program or you want to transfer for your police certification from another state to the beautiful state of Florida. So, check me out, guys. I got some free resources over there. Stick around in the video, and we'll talk about those as far as the guided notes, and I'll tell you where you can find them at. I give away 17 pages of free guided notes to help you guys if you don't have any money and you don't have any time. Well, you're going to need your time regardless. You have to make time to study because you need a plan. But if you don't have any money, you can't afford to buy my subscription services, I understand. I still want to help you guys out. Check out the 17 pages of free guided notes over at SOSPrep.com. And then it's /notes or copprep.com/notes. Those run together. And it'll give you 17 pages of free guided notes. Just put your email in and I'll kick it over to you. So let's go over this question, guys. Enough of the plug-in. Let's talk about this question. It's question 1 of 200. This is also on my website at SOSPrep.com. I've got these comprehensive exams where I give you a bank of random questions, just like the ones you're going to see at Pearson VUE when you sit down and take this exam. The clock is ticking on you. And you're going to work through these questions, right? And I like to do my test taking strategies, keep it and scratch it. So we're going to do it right now. Let's read this question. It says that the doctrine of the fruits of the poisonous tree suppresses evidence in a hearing. What happens to the evidence? So I'm using a lot of legal jargon you guys are going to be required to know when you sit down for your SOS. So if you didn't understand some of those words, you need to understand some of those words. So let's parse this down. Doctrine, right? What is doctrine? Legal doctrine is going to be precedent and common law. That basically we use the past to predict what we're going to do in legal action or legal format, and it gives us a process in the courtroom, like due process, fruits of the poisonous tree, totality of the circumstances, probable cause. These are all doctrines, right? They're doctrine based, and it's based on the past from precedent that has been set for by judges that were extremely wise, and they said, "Hey guys, we should do this in the future because it worked in the past," right? So. The doctrine of the fruits of the poisonous tree, you say you do or you do not know it. I don't want to give it away just yet, but we'll talk about it before we kill the video. Towards the end, we'll talk about what the poisonous tree doctrine is, right? Suppresses evidence. If evidence is suppressed, does that mean it's in court or out of court, right? This question is going to ask you to understand what suppression means. If you're in a suppression hearing, defense attorney asks for a suppression hearing. What are they trying to do? They're trying to get evidence kicked out because they think that you have not followed due process in some way, shape, or form. So let's go through the answer choices. Hopefully I ain't giving away too much information as of right now. A says it's struck from the record, for the court's record, rather, and due process of the law was not followed. It's struck from the record because due process was not followed. It's not admissible in court. So what does admissible mean? Does that mean it's in or out? Admissible, does it mean it's in or out? Right. B says it's presented with a disclaimer, right? So maybe they would get in front of the jury and say, hey, guys, there was a mistake on the police part. They didn't follow due process fully. So we want you to understand this evidence that was presented, but take it with a grain of salt because we didn't follow due process when we found it, right? Is that going to be the answer choice, yes or no? I would say scratch it because we know that due process is very serious. You have to follow due process of the law, guys. It's protected under which amendments? And one of them's in the Bill of Rights, and one of them was a Reconstruction Amendment. Which one was it? Sixth Amendment is going to contain a lot of your due process rights, and then the 14th Amendment has a due process clause, gives you equal protection under the law, it defines citizenship, and it gives a due process clause, right? So C says the case goes to grand jury where peers will decide on the admissibility of the evidence, right? Let's say I'm going to hold on to it because I'm not sure. And then D says the United States Supreme Court will grant cert. Will the United States Supreme Court grant cert? I don't know. Let's go back and parse it down again, guys. What is the fruits of the poisonous tree? It's a doctrine that states that anything that is found without due process of the law is therefore not found at all, right? So what does that mean? Let's say I got a beautiful mango tree in the front yard, guys. It bears the most beautiful fruit you could ever imagine. Let's say you love mangoes, right? Which I love mangoes, right? We're in Florida, so if you don't love mangoes, you need to learn to love mangoes because they're readily and they are amazing, right? So let's just say it's bearing that beautiful fruit that you want, that you love, that you like. And I tell you, hey, you can eat as much of that fruit as you want. I have no problem when you come by and eat, and I got plenty. But before you eat it, I need to let you know I've been poisoning those roots for decades, right? My family poisoned, I poisoned them. I put cyanide in the roots, and like basically a drop of cyanide will kill you. but I don't know if it made its way up to the fruit or not. So you can take your chances with it. You're more than welcome to eat it. Would you eat that fruit? If you have any sense, you would not eat that fruit, right? Because the squeeze is not worth the juice. I'm not going to eat fruit that's going to kill me, right? Or it could even have the potential to kill me. I'll just go buy a mango somewhere else that I know is going to be clean, right? So with that being said, fruits of the poisonous tree. Would you eat fruit from a tree if the roots have been poisoned? The answer to that question should be no. Will the courts accept evidence that has been placed in front of it if due process was not followed? And the answer should be no, they should not. It should be struck down. It should be suppressed, and a suppression hearing struck from the record. The jury should never even hear about it, right? Give you an example of that. Let's say a police officer decides they're going to get slick. They're going to try to get around due process. They're going to kick a front door in and start searching a residence, right? What have they violated? Somebody's Fourth Amendment. It's unreasonable search and seizure. We didn't have any exigent circumstances. There was no reason for you to invade. They had a reasonable expectation of privacy. You had no search warrant, right? No exclusions to this rule, right? Why were you in the residence? But when you kick into the door in the residence, you find a dead body on the floor. You find 15 kilos of cocaine. You find a bunch of stolen guns. You find a bunch of stolen credit cards. What's going to happen to all that evidence, guys? It's going to be suppressed. It's going to be suppressed, right? So you've let a criminal walk because you don't respect the Constitution. You tried to skirt it. And what have you done? You've given a criminal an opportunity to continue to kill people and continue to sell drugs and continue to gather up firearms that are stolen because you are too lazy. You don't want to respect the Constitution. You don't want to follow the letter of the law. And you're going to get your butt in trouble if you're one of those folks. So, enjoy your run while you can if you're one of those folks, because it will come to an end. Can guarantee you and promise you it will. I've seen it happen over and over again. I know of individuals right now that are in federal prison because they wanted to remix a job. Don't do it. So with that being said, guys, fruits of the poisonous tree doctrine, right? Think about those beautiful mangoes if you see it, right? A was the correct answer. It's struck from the record as due process of the law was not followed. It is not admissible in court. Admissible means, is it allowed? If it's admissible, it is allowed, right? It's admitted into court, right? It is not admissible at this point because you did not follow due process under the 14th Amendment due process clause, the 6th Amendment, which explains a lot of your due process rights. A is the correct answer. I'm going to stick it. I'm going to pick it. Going to move on. Guys, check me out over at sourceprep.com. I can help you out. Get the free guided notes if nothing else, right? I got some other resources as well with the 3 encounters, right? What you're supposed to do with that document, you print it off, you watch a live action PD show like Live Action PD or Cops from back in my day, and I want you to pause it, and I just want you to stop and say, what tier is it stop? Is it tier 1, 2, or 3, right? Is it a police citizen mutual encounter? Is it an investigative stop? Is it a probable cause, right? Is this an arrest, right? Are they using discretion to decide not to arrest because it's a misdemeanor, or is it a felony? Are they mandated to make an arrest at this point? Is it domestic violence, right? What do we do? Do we need a witness? So on and so forth. Ask yourself these questions as you break down those shows, guys. It can help you out a lot, make it relevant, and you're not risking your life out on the street while you learn, because there is a learning curve to this job, and unfortunately you have to risk your life while you're learning. That document can help you out. So go over to sourceprep.com, check it out. Email me if you got any questions. Hit me up in the comments if you got any questions. Please like, comment, subscribe, share it with your classmates, guys. Trying to get this stuff out. I think I can help you out, and you guys can help me out by doing that. With that being said, guys, check me out, sourceprep.com. Travis Britt, Source Prep. Thank you. Out.